This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so Kid Cudi came out the other day and, criticized Jim Jones, understandably, because Jim Jones says he put on Kid Cudi, which is a lie, okay? Jim Jones was just very early on remixing Day and Night his only way because, a lot of people forget around this time, after Ballin', Jim Jones had the biggest decline ever. Okay, the last thing he had around that time was Pop Champagne, and that was like a gimmick song. Like, it worked. Okay, no shade to Ron Brown's. Okay, it was a moment where like people were just abusing auto-tune, and Ron Brown's smartly jumped on it, right? And then he got Jim Jones on it, and it worked because he was running off Ballin', but it was gone, bro. It's like he needed something to keep going. So he started just remixing everything. And he remixed Day and Night because he heard it early. He got on it early. Well, as the label, because he was already signed, was pushing the record around, right? He got signed off MySpace, just so you know, right? They were pushing the record around, and he remixed it quickly, okay? He looped the beat and remixed it and put it out before Kid Cudi could release his music video, which Jim Jones, if you do that to him, he hates it. I could tell you from experience, all right? I released my own version of the Emotionless video from the behind the scenes of it, and they lost their minds, bro. That's a whole nother story. Listen, Jim Jones, it was creative marketing at that time, but it was desperate. He was desperate to keep his buzz going. And now he's rewriting history that he discovered Kid Cudi, and the only reason people knew who Kid Cudi was because of him. Not Kanye, everybody else co-signing Kid Cudi, not everything else, okay? Not everything else, God forbid, right? It was Jim Jones that made everybody want to mess with him. Now, I was shocked that DJ Vlad defended Jim Jones in this because Jim Jones hates DJ Vlad. He calls him the police and everything, right? So Vlad enters into the conversation. And I'm sorry, I was very in tune with everything going on during this time. Jim Jones might have put it, just like anybody can, put somebody onto an artist. He probably put a few people on to Kid Cudi, right? Some people that really love Jim Jones. Yeah, maybe they put him onto the song. That's it. But someone says, respectfully, DJ Vlad, you could have addressed... Oh, yeah. So I don't have this in order right now. But let's see. The first thing Vlad put out was... He says, people are roasting Jim Jones for saying he's the reason Kid Cudi blew up. But he absolutely is right. Nobody, I don't know if he wants a Jim Jones interview right now, but he says nobody knew who Kid Cudi was until Jim Jones did Day and Night remix. Keep in mind, this was coming off the heels of Ballin', his biggest song ever. Ballin' actually came a few years before that. Ballin' was more like 05, 06. Then he wrote it to 08. But it died, Keep in mind, it's coming off the heels of Ballin', his biggest song ever. I remember hanging out in the studio with Kid Cudi and playing Pat when Cudi told us that Jim tried to press him to sign the song over to him, which ultimately didn't happen. Exactly. He heard the song early. Jim Jones heard the song early. I'm not saying he wasn't early on it. And he wanted the song for himself because he needed another song. He had already lost Max B and Stack Bundles had passed. So he didn't have anybody to help him write hit records anymore. He was kind of lost. This is the facts, all right? So then somebody says, maybe it's a geographic thing, but Jim Jones introduced me to Kid Cudi. I thought Day and Night was Jim's song. How would you think that bootleg video was Jim Jones' song? He did one verse. Someone said exactly. Oh, no, Vlad said exactly. Vlad, I don't know how in tune he was around this time, but, I'm going to just tell you that, regarding this, Jim Jones was just trying to ride somebody else's wave. He knew that Sylvia Rhone and all them were putting money, they were behind Kid Cudi. He was aware of what was going on, and he was trying to be early on it, which is smart. I'm not saying it's not. Then he calls him, I guess, Kid Cudi. I didn't see where Kid Cudi said something about Vlad. Oh, somebody reposted Vlad's thing, and Kid Cudi says, nobody's trying to hear what this bum has to say. Kid Cudi doesn't like Vlad. Vlad doesn't like Kid Cudi. Maybe that's why he's taking Jim's side, right? I don't know. He says, cool Kid Cudi talking stuff about me? And then someone said, in one of them, he says, you could have addressed him without calling him a cokehead. And then he says, and he could have addressed me without calling me a bum. I was just speaking from my perspective. Didn't resort to name calling. And then someone said, he ain't talk tough when Diddy flamed his stuff. And then he took the stand and snitched on him. I don't really see Kid Cudi as a snitch in that situation because he's never portrayed to be a street rapper. And arguably, I'm going to say Vlad, as much as I like Vlad's content and everything, and I don't blame him for doing what he did with Rick Ross, but Rick Ross's guys beat up Vlad early on. And Vlad got about, I think he got a couple 100,000 out of Rick Ross. I remember around that time, I was kind of working with Ross a little bit because I had been in Miami a lot. And I remember one time I had to sit in the car where they went up to their lawyers and they were discussing this settlement with Vlad. I was actually, I think I was at Rick Ross's house once, or I heard someone, but they were serving Rick Ross at his house. They were just dropping the papers on Rick Ross's doorstep and taking pictures of it. That's how Rick Ross got served for the Vlad thing. Vlad got beat up. Anybody could get beat up, but that's what happened. And, so Vlad's taking the stand too. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not a street person, taking the stand is what it is. Anyways, that's that. Then we got Ian Connor claiming Rocky killed Yams. He says, I don't even care anymore. It is what it is. He says, killing your mans for self-game ain't trill. And then he says, playing with your dead man's name to get at Rocky ain't trill. That's true. Yeah, how did he kill him? I'm confused about that. Then we got, also, we talked about A$AP Rocky, upset that A$AP Ferg took A$AP off his name. Bro, you gave up on A$AP Bob. Rocky could have led a bunch of guys. He could have had another Dipset. I thought that was what was going to happen with A$AP, but it never turned out that way. He never started a label, found a home for everybody, and never, he did get behind some of the projects, but he didn't have a organized, he didn't have enough of an organized approach to it. And it could have been the next Dipset out of New York City, A$AP Mob. They had a lot of talent, but it just didn't go that way. And then you could kind of see the separation that happened between YAMS, Ferg, and Rocky. And a lot of people say it's because YAMS wasn't alive anymore to hold everything together. He was the true leader. It's probably true. I mean, it's obviously true, right? Then we got Ray J claims he was at the hospital.
White person that you see calling him.
Let's see. Instagram. Let's see. So, Ray J claims his heart's working at 25% capacity, which means he was done. What was he taking? What was he on? Right? There we go.
My heart's only beating like 25%, but as long as I stay focused and stay on the right path, then everything will be all right. So thank you for all your prayers. Now you got their dating shows coming out, but it's nothing but fun, y'all. It wasn't crying for me.
I think in this very video,
because Sheila just almost goddamn killed me.
He was still smoking weed. Bro, take care of yourself, man. What the hell? What the helly? Drake says he's got a date for his album, guys. I got to hear some more songs. I'm not really excited about this album yet. I'm going to be honest with you. Lil Durk, the prosecutors say he had $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo. Lil Durk's cooked, bro. He's got 2 people that are probably going to cooperate against him. It's over, bro. Ain't no coming back from that, my G. I'm sorry. Ain't no coming back from that. I think Lil Durk's going to sizzle. And like, bro, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's just a fact. You can't be a Grammy Award-winning artist calling hits on people. If they can even prove it to a little bit, you're going to do some time. We'll see what happens. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for... There's not a lot of news. There's a lot of BS happening in the world, as we know. And, I'm just finding stuff. I kind of took the past 2 days kind of light, too, because, like, it's just... I just needed a little bit of recuperation, man. But I appreciate you guys so much for sticking with me. And as always, we're going to get right back into dropping 5 to 8 videos a day. But, I just took it a little light the past couple days. I just needed a little bit of rest. That's it. Appreciate you all. Peace.